Hey, I'm here. I had a client that canceled their coaching session for the day, so I said, "Why not go live right now? Like, get it out the way." But also, I feel like this is a time where hopefully many people are waking up, or you're already been up for a while, so you can come and get this inspiration today. Today we're talking about something I feel like is needed right now, and it's the power of sharing your story. I learned this power a while ago, and I learned it from you all. I learned the power of sharing my story because, as you see, I'm very transparent. I'm very authentic about where I've come from and what I've gone through in life. And I had posted yesterday on a few platforms, LinkedIn and Facebook specifically, about how at 17 I really had an epiphany when I was sitting in a jail cell awaiting trial, and a lot of that resonated with a lot of you. So I wanted to come on and talk about the power of sharing your story and being your authentic self, stepping into your faults, stepping into your failures, and stepping into your growth. Right. See, one of the reasons why I started sharing my story was because I was going through really tough times mentally and emotionally. And I just was like, you know what? If I'm going through this, then I know someone else is going through it. And I remember years ago when I first posted about having a depressive episode, I had people DMing me for days telling me that they were grateful for me posting that because they were going through the same thing and they just felt like they were the only one in the world going through it. So then, right then, I knew that I needed to share my story more. Right then, I knew that my purpose was not to stay silent, whether I'm going through triumph or whether I'm going through pain. My purpose was to share that with you all, express it. And that has taken me on a journey of becoming a coach. That has taken me on a journey of becoming a actual professional speaker, a keynote speaker. That has taken me on a journey of getting to know so many of you. And I want to talk to you about sharing your story, about not holding yourself back, about not feeling like you are not important enough. Your life has not had a meaning because it does. And all that you are up to this point is something that you can help others with. See, the beauty of sharing our stories is not only does it help us in healing and helping us in identifying how amazing we are, it also helps others who may be going through similar things or who may see how you've progressed through some difficulties in your life, and then they can apply it to whatever is going on in their situation. Think about the power of that for a moment. See, you think that your story isn't important enough. But if you go live right now and you talk about some of the things you've gone through, or you post and go on a podcast, or you post it on social media and talk about some of the things, maybe you do a flashback Friday post, you never know who you're reaching. And they may not necessarily say anything at that moment, and that's fine. It's not for the vanity metrics, it's not for the likes, it's not for the shares, it's for your story. It's for you. It's for you to share and to help others and to get it out there. So for me, for instance, I started sharing for a healing process because I'm like, man, this sucks. This depression sucks. Like, I'm down here. I don't feel like getting out of bed. I don't feel like doing anything I need to do today. I don't feel like just living. Quite frankly, I didn't feel like adulting that day. And I posted that, me in the bed, just laying there, talking about the struggles, talking about how you have to decide to win the day, especially when you have mental health issues. And that helps some people. And that's important for me because coming from the military, the number one cause of death in the military is suicide. So talking about those things is very important for a number of reasons. You may reach one of those people, that one of your loved ones who was contemplating that just by sharing your story, what you're going through, or just by doing a check-in and saying, hey, this is what I was going through today. What about y'all? What y'all got going on your plate? You know? And also sharing the good things, uplifting moments is even better, right? Sharing those uplifting times. Those can push people to go forward. So I'll challenge you today. Instead of regressing and going into a hole and all that stuff, put yourself out there. Be you, be authentic. You don't have to try to be anyone else. I go live. I don't have a script. I don't have, I just have a topic that I want to share with you all, and then I'm gonna just talk. Why? Because this isn't to get any notoriety. This isn't any of that. This is just me having a conversation with my people that I love. This is me having a conversation with you, telling you what you are capable of, that you don't need to shrink. You need to grow and step into who you are. And it's okay if you've had failures along the way. We're human. Tap into that human element. Tap into those failures that happened to you. Even if you don't think it was a big deal, or maybe it's something that you feel is taboo that you don't really talk about. That could be your power. Sharing that could be your power. You don't know how that can impact your journey. I'm telling you. And it's important to know that, like, really sit with yourself sometimes and just write down some of the experiences you've had. Write down the jobs you've had. Write down, some of the failures you've experienced, some of the triumphs you've experienced. And you'd be surprised what stories you can craft from that. Like, add some humor, add some great moments. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a great way to express yourself, and it also can get you paid. Right? It's also a revenue stream. Like, you see some of these people getting on these stages, you like, I can talk about that. Like, what? I could talk about how my kids hold me back and get me late every day, and people resonate with that. You'd be surprised. Like, you don't know until you try, though. You don't know until you put yourself out there. So I want you to do an exercise. I want you to write down, like I said, all of your experiences, everything you've gone through, including your failures, especially the failures. Because what you want to do when you share your story is you want people to connect with you. You want people to see the human side of you. Because when you get on the stage, they're like, oh, this person is on stage. They got it all together. You want to show that you don't. You want to show that you don't, that you're on their level, that like, yo, I'm here in front of you, but guess what? It wasn't always this way. I've gone through some things too, and this is why I'm here to speak with you. It's not my accolades. It's not all that. It's because of X, right? That you know the pain and you can solve it because you've gone through the journey. Write down how you can do that, right? Share some of your triumphs. Talk about, what is the purpose of sharing your story? What would you like people to get out of it? Do you want them to change how they think? Do they change how they act? Do they change how they feel about something? And then once you go from there, once you know the goal of your topic, why you want to share the story, then you could just flow. If you're nervous about sharing your story via video, right? There's so many ways. Paint. There's so many ways to express yourself. It doesn't have to be one way. Find what works for you, but get that out there. If you want to write a book, that's another way. It could be loosely based on your life. It could be a fiction, whatever you want to do. I just want to challenge you to get it out there. Don't hold your glory in. Don't keep it to yourself. Don't be selfish like that. Like, share who you are and impact the world in your way. It's so important. I'm real. Like, honestly, it's so important that you talk in your way, share your story, and see who you can help. See, your story, some of the pain that you've experienced was not meant for you. We ask why sometimes. Why did things happen? And the reason may not readily identify itself, because oftentimes what you've gone through, you were supposed to share that experience so you can help someone else who may be going through it too. So ask yourself, am I being selfish by not sharing who I am, what I've gone through, what I'm going through, and how I got through it? Ask yourself that question. Chances are you are. And you don't have to worry about getting on stages. It's not about that. You can do what I'm doing right now. You can use your social platforms. You can write a book. You can write poetry. You can do open mics, whatever. I just want you to get it out there because you're holding on to so much. And I'm telling you, it is so freeing to just let it go. Don't worry about what everyone else is saying. Don't worry about, getting it perfect, getting it right. That's why I come on here raw, because I want you to feel me. Like, I'm just here talking. I want you to understand that you don't have to be perfect. It's not about perfection. It's about progress. It's about doing it. And you'll get better as you go. You'll get more comfortable as you go. The way to grow is to get a little uncomfortable. And oftentimes getting uncomfortable is sharing those little things in our closet that we didn't necessarily want to put out there, sharing some of our story that people may not know. Like let the world know who you are, where you came from, that it wasn't always this way. That's fine. And you'll be surprised what doors open up for you. So go ahead, type it in chat. I got some work to do, so I had to roll. But type in the chat when you are going to share your story, and I'm gonna hold you accountable. When will you start sharing your story? And then what platforms will you share your story on? And I want to help you get there. I can help you craft your messaging if you want. Whatever you like, however you want me to support you, I'm here for you. But I just want you to start sharing your story. All right. Once again, happy Saturday. Enjoy your week if you're watching this on the replay, and keep ascending.